morning and welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and this is Stitched Up. So I'm back today to talk you through my makes for January. I'm coming a little bit late. We're already a week into February, but I've just had the week off work and had my daughter home to stay for a few days. So yeah, it's been nice and relaxing, shall we say. Anyway, I hope you're all well and I hope you're all getting lots of sewing time. We're still on lockdown here in the UK, but yeah, it means at least we've got sewing to keep us busy, haven't we? So for those of you that watched my January plans video, I hadn't actually done a plans video for a while, and I'm actually quite impressed that I've managed to get the majority of what I said I was going to sew done, which is not like me because I usually go off on a tangent, get sidetracked by the new and shiny, and I have been sidetracked, but out of everything that I said I was going to make in January, there's only two things that I didn't actually get done, and one of those is cut out ready to sew up. I've just not sewn it up. So without further ado, let's get started, and the first thing I'm going to show you is what I'm wearing. So this is the McCall's M7969, which is this pattern. I have made this before, but this was on my list to make out of this gorgeous Georgette fabric that I got from Material Girl Laura at some point last year, I think it was. And I think I mentioned in my plans vlog that I needed to size down because, as many of you know, that I have lost some weight. And I think previously, the size that I cut out previously, I knew would be too big because the version that I made before from the Mind the Maker Leo viscose twill, I think it was, that I got from Lamazi Fabrics, does still fit me, but it is very, very oversized now. And this is designed to be an oversized dress anyway. So I'm going to stand up and show you how it looks. So this is the dress here, and one of the key features about this dress are these lovely sleeves. They've got sort of like a dipped hem to them, and they're gathered in to a little cuff, which is nice. They've got a raglan sleeve here, crossover bodice, and then gathered into, it's sort of like an empire line bodice rather than your natural waist. My natural waist is about here and the empire line comes to about there. And it's just got a simple neckband that you make out of bias binding out of the self fabric. I've got it to, if I just stand up and show you, there we go. So it comes to just above my knee, which is quite a nice length on me. It was a nightmare to hem, shall we say, because just to try and get this hem straight was a bit of a challenge, but I got there. But I do love it. I really love it. I think it's great. It's lovely with, you know, like a chunky long line cardigan and boots and a nice scarf. So yeah, really happy with it. It was fairly quick sew. As I say, this is the second one that I've made of this pattern now, and I really, really love it. So I can highly recommend. Instructions are straightforward. The version that I made is version A, which is this version here. So you can make additional versions that have a little frilled hem on the sleeves and also on the bottom of the dress, but I just went for the plain version. I think that's probably the version that suits me the best. So really happy with that one. So next up, I actually made the So Liberated Ada blouse. Let me just grab it and I'll show you. So I think I'd mentioned in my plans video that I like patterns that have interesting features and things that are just a little bit different. I'm not always drawn to new patterns that come out that again just rehash basics or are things that I've already got in my stash and don't present anything new. And well, I saw this pattern, which is actually an old pattern. It's 4 years old, 5 years old, but it's the Ada blouse by So Liberated, and I really liked it actually. It's got a yoke detail, it's got two versions. You can either have it flat gathered, well, it's not gathered, but flat into the yoke at the front and the back, or you can have some gathering, and I chose the gathered version. And I made it out of this gorgeous, it's a Q Pro fabric that I got from Rainbow Fabrics, and I've had this fabric in my stash for probably about 2 years now, and it's in this like khaki green colourway. So I decided to have a go at this blouse in the Q Pro because I'd never sewn with Q Pro before, even though I've got a few pieces of it in my stash now. And here's the result. So It's a short-sleeved blouse with this lovely, as I say, lovely yoke detail at the front. It's also got a yoke at the back, and it's got this nice neckband that comes all the way around the neck, all the way down the front of the blouse, and then it's a button front. Now you can either make a full button closure, or you can just do a faux button placket, which is what I did. These buttons are not usable. They're literally just sewn straight through, because the opening on the head and the oversized fit of this blouse means that you can just get it on and off. So if you are scared of buttonholes and you've not tackled anything as, when I say complex, beyond the basics should I say, but a blouse like this before with all these extra details like a neckband and gathering, etc., and a yoke, then this is a good one, because as I say, you can still get it on and off without needing to do buttonholes. Up until I got my machine 3 years ago, I was terrified of buttonholes, because my old Janome machine used to just chew fabric up all the time when I tried to do buttonholes on it, even though it had an automatic buttonholer. I hated them, absolutely hated them. Now what you will notice with this is that the facing of the neckband is a different fabric. Well, it's not a different fabric, it's just a different colour. It's the same fabric, but obviously in a different colour, because I only cut out 2 of the neckband pieces and I actually needed 4. So unfortunately I didn't have enough left of the main fabric to cut out the facing pieces, so I had to use a different colour, but I think it's fine, you know, it works okay. I've also bias bound it with this lovely olive bias binding, satin bias binding as well. That's not in the instructions. I will say I was going to do a pattern review of this pattern, and I still might do that, but I filmed it twice and both times I could not get my words straight, so I was not going to put that out for you to look at. But I probably will do a pattern review of this blouse, because I do love it, but I did need to make a few changes to it, so just bear that in mind. I will do a separate pattern review so I can go into this blouse in more detail, but I do love the finished article. I think it's really nice. I will definitely make it again. I'd like to make some out of double gauze or linen. I think that would be really super for spring and summer. And yeah, it's a lovely blouse. Now, I had some of that fabric left, and I think I mentioned that I wanted to make a pair of matching sort of casual, semi-casual trousers that I could wear during lockdown that make me feel a little bit more dressed up, but are still fairly, you know, nice and comfy to wear. And I chose the Seaforth pants by Hey June Handmade. I'll put a picture of the pattern up here for you. And I decided to have a go at making those out of the same fabric. So here are the finished pants. I love these trousers. I am going to put some pictures in of me wearing these so that you can see, but essentially these are they're like a jogger style pattern, fairly relaxed fit but not too loose. They have an elasticated waistband, but as you can see it's top stitched and it's quite a wide elastic, so I always think that's a bit more flattering. And they are supposed to have front welt pockets with zips in. However, I had a bit of a challenging time with the welt pockets, shall we say, in the fact that I created the welt pockets and bought the zips, realised that I'd got the wrong length zip to start with, so they were too short for the welts that I'd created. But in addition to that, the welt opening was too wide for the zip. Now that's not a fault with the pattern, it's a fault with me. I checked the pattern piece and I don't know what I'd done when I'd drawn it off, it was just too wide. So there was no way that I could even, you know, get the right length zip and still create a zipper opening for those pockets. And unfortunately by this point I didn't have enough of this fabric left to redo those welts. So yeah, they got binned and I just decided to leave them off, which is a real shame, because one of the features of these pants was those gorgeous front welt zip pockets, and I want to have another go at them because I do love these pants. They do have back pockets on, which are not too big, you can get your hand in them, but I do quite like a back patch pocket. I think they always make your booty look a little bit less less large. I can't think of any other way to say it, to be honest, especially if you've got a booty like mine. And bottom of the trousers, now there are various options for this. I did add on, I think, about 2-inch length to these trousers, but they were still too short. I'd simply hemmed them and I didn't have enough fabric to hem them at the right length, if that makes sense. So the hem was really narrow, which did not suit this fabric whatsoever. It looked really homemade rather than professionally made, and I wasn't happy with the length at all and the hem. So I decided to create a elastic hem in these. So I think I used 2-inch elastic for the waistband, and the elastic that's in the hem is about 1.5 inches, I think, of the legs. Now, this does mean that these are slightly cropped, but I think it works, and I'm really pleased that I decided to do that. As I say, otherwise these would not have been wearable. And yeah, I love them. I absolutely love them. Now, when I say that I wanted to make a pair of trousers to go with this blouse, to be perfectly honest, I haven't worn these together, and I'm not sure if I would wear them together. I might put them on together to take some pictures to put in this vlog so you can see what they look like together, but I suspect I will probably wear these just with a plain black t-shirt, something like that. But I do really like them. The fit on these is amazing, and I think I'm definitely going to make another pair, but I'm going to lengthen them a lot more than I did, and I'm also going to have another go at these front pockets with the zips in, because I think they will look amazing. I have got some green satin, sort of a heavy satin, that I want to make another pair of these out of, and I'm really glad that I twirled them first. Size wise, I can't remember what size I made, but they are true to size is what I can say. I was a little bit concerned when I cut these out because there is no stretch in this fabric at all, and I'm always nervous making trousers anyway, but I'm always nervous making trousers out of fabric that has no give in it whatsoever, because there's no margin for error. You don't get that extra bit of stretch there that, you know, contorts to your body a little bit. So I knew that I would have no margin for error, but which is why I wanted to twirl them out of the remainder of this Q-Pro. And when I cut out the front pattern piece, I looked at it and I thought, I'm never going to get my thighs into those, but I was actually quite surprised. So yeah, they are true to size is what I'm saying, but love them, absolutely love them. I've learnt a lot, and I just need to retrace the pattern piece for the welt pocket and make sure I add some extra length in. But I do like the elasticated bottom cuffs. I really like that feature, and I think with, you know, my Vans trainers in spring, they're going to look awesome. I next wanted to have a go at Vogue V1663, which is this pattern that I have had in my stash for a couple of years, and this is designed for either jerseys or woven fabrics. It's got these amazing sleeves. Hopefully you can see that there. The sleeves are a real feature of this dress, and it's got like a funnel neck with a zip up the back and a couple of pleats in the bodice, and then just a straight skirt. Now, I decided to make this out of a viscose linen that I got from the textile centre late last summer, and the finished dress I will get for you now. And just like that, I am wearing the finished dress. So, what do I think about this dress? I am not sure, if I'm honest. If I just stand up and I will show you the how it looks on me. Okay, so you might be a little bit wonky, but hopefully you can see this dress. So I made a straight size 10 of this dress, and that matched up with my body measurements, and yeah. I'm not happy with the pattern placement because I've got this huge leaf here and then another huge leaf here, and I don't think that works very well. Lengthwise, you can't see this very well, but it does come right down to my mid-calf, and I added no length to the skirt whatsoever. So I would bear that in mind if you do make this dress, that it is very, very long. The sleeves I lengthened by 1/2 inch, and I do love the sleeves. They are very, very voluminous, and I think this is what's throwing me with this dress. I just find that just I don't know what it is about this dress, but it just, I feel it's almost Victoriana in the design of the sleeves, and I don't feel comfortable in it at all. It's a shame because it's, you know, it's a nice dress. The bodice is completely lined with the self fabric, and the skirt is supposed to be lined as well, but I didn't have enough of this fabric to line the skirt, so I didn't bother lining it, to be fair, and I thought I'd just wear it with a slip underneath. But don't have it on with a slip underneath at the minute, and it appears to be fine. I have lengthened the bodice by 1 inch, and to be honest, it's probably too long. I think there is a bit of looseness here, as you can see, and I think yeah, I feel like I'm needing to sort of pull it down, so I'm not sure. Well, the bodice, to be fair, is just still a little bit, I think there's just too much fabric here. I don't know, I can't quite work out whether it's the fact that the waist is too low or that it's just a bit too big, because it's got these pleats here, and then it's got darts at the back, but I think I would have preferred darts here. I think that would have just brought it in a little bit more. But you know, to say that this pattern is all about the sleeves, I actually don't like the sleeves. Yeah, I'm not sure. It's got this like funnel neck that is designed to be sort of fairly loose, which I quite like. It's got a couple of press studs on the back, and then it's got an invisible zip. I'm pleased with how the invisible zip went in. I think, you know, that looks fine. The cuffs have press studs on as well. I don't know if you can see those there. So they've just got simple press studs on. I guess you could use buttons and buttonholes if you wanted to do that, but the instructions do give you instructions for press studs, which for ease I just think is fairly straightforward, isn't it? So the skirt is quite skimming, and I think I just feel that it's very top heavy, that there's so much going on up top because of this funnel neck and the huge sleeves, and then the skirt is very you know, very sort of slim fitting, which I guess balances out my figure to a degree because I'm pear-shaped, so my hips are much bigger than my chest and my shoulders, and I think I look very top heavy in this dress. So I'm pleased I've made it, but as to whether I will pick this dress up and wear it, I honestly don't know. I'm just not convinced by these sleeves at all, which is a real shame because they are such an interesting construction. The sleeve pattern is massive. It's absolutely massive, and you have to put so many pleats in at the top, and then you do the same at the bottom as well, and they're all pleated in place, and it's a really interesting construction. But I just don't know if I like them, and yeah, it's a shame because it's a nice dress and it's well made, and it, you know, it feels comfy on, but I just feel like I'm in a costume, if I'm honest. I feel like I'm dressed up in a Victorian costume rather than, you know, just a dress for day-to-day wear. So yeah, it's a shame. I don't think I'll end up wearing it. So hey ho, you win some, you lose some. Moving on, anyway, I'm gonna get dressed up in my next dress, which was more successful, and this one is not the Georgie dress by Sew Over It. I changed my mind. Hang on. So this dress feels much more me, and I said in my plans video that I was going to make the Georgie by Sew Over It, and I was out of this fabric, but at the last minute, after seeing the lovely L'Oreal's Meredith dress, which was a pattern that Sew Over It released, I think late last year, I changed my mind because this dress is gorgeous, and this basically is a jersey version of the Eve dress. I love the Eve dress because it has these beautiful gathers into a yoke at the top near the shoulders, and yeah, when I saw the detail of the Meredith, and especially after seeing L'Oreal's version, I just thought, you know what, I'm going to make that one instead. So I had this gorgeous fabric, which is just a cotton jersey, very lightweight cotton jersey though, in my stash from Colville Fabrics. I can't remember when I bought this, probably last year or the year before, and I whipped this dress up in probably about 3 or 4 hours, I think. I made the straight size 10, and the only alteration I made to it was to lengthen the dress by a couple of inches and also lengthen the sleeves as well by about an inch, but they are still bracelet length on me. And it's got this really nice sort of neckband that goes all the way round, and to be honest, attaching the neckband was the most time consuming part of this dress because it goes all the way round and then all the way down the front of the dress. The dress itself is only, the sort of front bodice and back piece are all in one piece, so the bodice and the skirt is fully attached. So you do need a fair bit of fabric to make this dress. You know, even though it's a fitted dress and it comes to just below the knee on me, I would say I still needed 3 meters of fabric, and that's because of the neckband, because of the shape of the neckband. To get it all in one piece, you need that length of fabric really. I suppose the facing of the neckband you could cut in two and stitch it together just to save on fabric if you wanted to, but I don't think you could do that with the you know, the outer fabric side, you know what I mean. But I love it, I absolutely love it. I'm going to put some twirls in of me wearing this dress. I feel amazing in it. It is so my style and it's lovely. I love this fabric. I mean, this fabric was very inexpensive. I think it was probably about £15 for 3 meters, something like that. So it's a really cheap dress, but I really, really, really love it. The ties, which are here, are wrapped around my waist about 4 times now, and I made the ties from the size 20 because I just really like the extra long ties, and I'm really glad that I did that. It was mostly done on my overlocker, I would say, and the instructions were straightforward. The fit is really good. I fit sew over it patterns really well, and yeah, what else can I say? After the Vogue dress, this is just lovely on me. I know L'Oreal had mentioned about the sleeves being a little bit tight, and I think a few people have previously mentioned that they have issues with sew over it patterns with the sleeves for the size that they're making always being a little bit tighter. I didn't have an issue with the sleeves. This is, as I say, this is the straight size 10, and the sleeves are fitted, but they're not too tight. I still have, I mean, you can see I still have plenty of room there. So yeah, it was fine for me, to be honest. There's you know, nothing I needed to alter apart from the length of it. So yeah, after the Vogue dress, it's a definite thumbs up for the Meredith, and I want to make loads of these dresses because I think I will wear them a lot. Moving on to my other makes for January, I also said that I was going to have a go at the True Bias Hudson pants, and I wanted to make the high rise hack that Kelly shows you how to do. She's done a tutorial for it, which is on her website, and I did make those. They are here, and I made them out of, this was some brushed back, well, it's fleece back sweatshirting that I got from Colville in this gorgeous sort of steely blue colour. So these are the True Bias Hudsons with the high rise hack. Now the tutorial is really, really simple to follow. I will put these on to show you. The tutorial is very simple to follow, and it's great that she also shows you how to alter the pocket piece as well, so that everything is still in proportion, which I think is great, because otherwise, you know, attaching the normal pocket piece when you've raised the waistband, I think if you didn't alter the pocket piece, it would probably just throw the proportions out a little bit. But she goes through that with you. The tutorial is straightforward, it's easy to follow. I have added the cuff bands to the bottom. I've made these before, but again, I've needed to alter the pattern size just to fit me. Now I've lost weight. They are, I would say, the tutorial works really well. It gives you instructions to raise the waistband by 2 inches, but I found that that is still not high enough for me. These still do not fit me on my natural waist. So I think that tells you just how low the traditional Hudson pattern is. I need at least another inch. So I think if I'm going to make these again, which I will, because I do love the Hudsons, and they're, you know, they're a quick sew, they're easy, and I've got loads of wear out of these. I haven't even washed them yet, to be honest, and I think I've just thrown them on. You know, when I've been for a run and I've had my shower and I just want to throw something on that's comfy, I will reach for these. I just wish that they were just a little bit higher, so I definitely need at least another inch to raise these to my natural waist. But I've got quite a high rise, crotch depth, whatever you want to call it. I've never measured it, to be honest. I tend to just go by eye with things, but yeah, I'm clearly quite long in that part of my body. So, you know, 2 inches might meet your natural waist, but it doesn't on me. I will probably play about with that pattern again and just raise it by at least another inch, and then I think I'll be about there. But I'm really happy with them. This fabric is so warm, it's lovely. And as soon as I've made these, I wanted to make a little crop jumper to wear with them, because that's so, you know, it's the thing to do, isn't it? So I watched Lindsay, who is Inside the Hem. She's an American sewist, and she's got a really, really popular YouTube channel, and I love watching her, to be honest. I think she's great. She does, every week she tends to review a pattern company's patterns, and she goes through the big 4 and their new releases, but she also goes through all the indie designers as well, and I really like her reviews. She's very, very not critical, but she does pull them apart, and it's nice to, it's quite refreshing to see, to be honest. At the time I made these in January, I found a video that she'd done on blue colour patterns, and I'd never heard of them before. It's also a really good opportunity to find some different pattern designers that you've not come across before, and I've not come across blue colour. I think it was blue colour. No, it wasn't. It was blue dot patterns. Blue colour patterns are bag makers, aren't they? Anyway, yes, blue dot patterns, and this is, I can't remember the name of the pattern, which is just appalling considering I'm filming this right now, isn't it? I can't remember the name of this pattern. I think I'm wanting to say it begins with G. Gemma, is it the Gemma sweater? Something like that, anyway. And it's essentially a 3/4 length sleeved cropped sweater with it's a dolman sleeve sweater basically, and this is it here. And this is the most quick and easy pattern you could ever make, if I'm perfectly honest. I made the version with the huge cowl neck, which is just so snugly warm. It's 3/4 length sleeves, which, to be honest, and until I'd cut out the pattern pieces, I didn't realise that it was, and I do wish now that I'd lengthened it to full length. However, I'm still really happy with it. It's just got, you know, simple waistband and cuffs around the ends of the sleeve, and then, as I say, this huge cowl neck as well. And together with my Hudson's, it looks fab. It was quick and easy. It used up the rest of this fabric. So again, I had 3 meters of this fabric, which again I got from Colville. You'll see them together in these pictures that I will put in, and I just really like it. I think it's lovely. So I'll definitely make more of this sweater, but I think I would lengthen the sleeves. As much as I love 3/4 length sleeves in a sweater, I'm not sure if that works, if I'm honest. But no, love it. Really, really happy with that. So that was an additional make in January that I hadn't said I was going to do. Now, there were the 2 items that I said I was going to make that I didn't do. One of them was the top by Ellie & Mac. Hang on, I'll just get the pattern and I'll tell you what it's called. Right, so the first one was the High Hopes Dolman by Ellie & Mac. I have got that cut out, but I haven't sewn it up, and I think it's because I cut it out and then I suddenly thought, do you know what? I don't want to make this. So it's gone in the UFO pile, if I'm honest, and I will come back to it at some point because I will have to make it up. But yeah, I think it's not that I've gone off the fabric. I just suddenly thought, if I make this, I'm not going to wear it at the moment, so haven't made it up. It's me being honest. And the other pattern that I didn't get a chance to make up was the Paper Cut Patterns stacker jacket as well, and I'm really gutted, but I think it's because, as much as I love that cord that I got from JJ, that's not the cord that I bought to make that jacket with. I bought some khaki cord from Walton's to make that jacket with, and I don't want to make it until I find the cord wherever I've put it in my stash. I want to make it out of the khaki cord. So I think that's why I put off making that as well, because I don't want to use that cord for that jacket. So yeah, I didn't get the stacker jacket done either. However, I have got another 5 things to show you, which I have got made in January, which is quite productive for me. They're all jersey items. And the first one is the Isla top by Tessuti Patterns. Now this is a pattern that I'd not really looked at before and not realised just how interesting the back detail of this top is. It's a really, really lovely pattern. And when you look at it from the front, it just looks like a dolman sleeve top, very plain, jersey, you know, one of your basics. But then the back has got a really interesting seaming detail, and it's got like a split yoke at the back, which just, when you see the pattern piece, you're scratching your head a couple of times wondering how it's all going to go together, but it actually comes together very, very quickly. And I could whip this up in 25 minutes. It was so quick that I then immediately pulled out some sweatshirting from my stash and made another. So the first one I made was from this beautiful, beautiful cotton jersey that is sparkly and just gorgeous. That I got this from Pin and Sew. Pin and Sew are sadly no more. It's another one of those lovely Jersey indie fabric shops that has shut down, and I didn't even know they'd shut down. I didn't see it advertised anywhere, but anyway, they don't really have anything left now. I think they're closing. So anyway, this is the Isla top here, and this is that beautiful fabric. I don't know if you're going to see the sparkle in there, but believe me, there is a little bit of sparkle in this fabric, and it's beautiful. So this is in a cotton jersey, and it just has a neckband. Ignore my horrendous overlocking there. I don't know what happened. My overlocker did not like overlocking at that point, but anyway, and then it's just got simple turned over at the cuffs and stitched down. I just did it with my zigzag stitch on my sewing machine because I really couldn't be bothered to get my cover stitch out. And exactly the same at the hem. There's no band on there. It's literally turn over and sew. And then the back detail, I don't think you're going to see it very well on this version, but I will show you the other one that I made. It's got, if you can just see that there, it's got like a seam line down the back there, and then this curved yoke. You might just be able to see it, but it's really sweet, and it's just something a little bit different. And as I mentioned at the beginning of this vlog, what I love about patterns is seeing something like this, something that takes what you think is just an ordinary top and just elevates it to something a little bit different that you can't buy off the shelf. So once I've made that one, I then made my sweatshirt version. Now this sweatshirt is beautiful, beautiful quality sweatshirting that I got from Stitchy Bee, the lovely Cheryl at Stitchy Bee. It's got this gorgeous fleece back. Inside is so soft. It is gorgeous, and it's in this beautiful blush pink colour, which is one of my favourite colours. So yeah, I made this one again, just simple turned over and stitched on my sewing machine. You can see the detail a little bit better on this one. So you've got the seaming at the back, and then the curved yoke detail there. The neckband on this, I widened it because on the traditional pattern it's quite narrow, and I felt that in this sweatshirting it needed to be deeper, so I deepened the neckband. I can't remember by how much, I just eyeballed it to be honest, and I'm pleased that I did that. But no, it's lovely. It's really warm, nice to wear. I love this colour on me. I think this colour really suits me. And yeah, so that was my second Isla top. And then finally in January, I am a patron of Gertie, and she released in January, I did a separate vlog to this actually, she released the Barbie top as a pattern, as a free pattern for her patrons. So if you are a patron of Gertie, you can get this completely free. If not, you can't, unfortunately. However, there are a number of t-shirt patterns out there that you could easily adapt. So I made and did a bit of a fun vlog on a challenge of how quick I could sew this top up in, and made a version in this red cotton jersey that I've got in my stash. And there are various versions of this top that you can make. They all have this mock turtleneck and this version has these gorgeous little armhole bands, but there's also t-shirt length, long sleeve as well. Now I made the size 6 in this, and to be honest, as much as I love it, and I do love it and it will get loads of wear, it was a little bit big. So I made another one just to check the fit. This is, again, is a gorgeous ponte that I got from Stitchy Bee, and I love this fabric. It's got a real Breton vibe to it, and I just thought, you know what, with high-waisted sort of sailor trousers in summer, that's going to be gorgeous, isn't it? So I made myself another version, again with the little armhole bands, and this again is in the size 6, and I just lengthened it slightly for me, because I tend to find that most tops need lengthening, and really love it. Again, very quick to make, but for my final version I went down a size. I went down to a size 4, just because I wanted it a little bit more fitted, and this is just a plain black one. Again, I made 3/4 length sleeves on this one, and you know, it's fab. It's just another basic top, but the size 4 fits me much better. So I love this top. It's absolutely amazing. In fact, it's just reminded me actually that I made a 4th one. I made a 4th one, and I also made another dress, and it's just reminded me. So let me just go grab them both and then I will show you. Right, so the final girty Barbie top that I made in January is this one, and this is in a mustard ochre. It was sold to me as a French terry, and I guess you could say that is a French terry backing, but it's very, very lightweight, and it feels more like a viscose because of the amount of drape that's in there. So it's definitely not what I would call a French terry. However, I do like it, and I really like the colour, although I'm not sure this colour is very flattering on me. I don't think it does my colouring that good. But I made another 3/4 length Barbie top. This one again is a size 4, and I made this with the intention of going under the dress that I made, which is the Ivy Pinafore by Jennifer Lauren. And here it is. So this denim I've had in my stash for ages. I have no idea where I got it from. It is a rigid denim with no stretch in it whatsoever. And I made the Ivy Pinafore in a size 10. It does have the inseam pockets, which are just at the side here. And it's fully lined with some gorgeous aubergine lining. This is just a normal lining fabric that I got from my local boys. I think it was a couple of pounds a metre. It wasn't very expensive. And then it does have proper fastening buttons. These are buttons that I had in my stash. They're actually the same buttons that I've got on my So Liberated Ada blouse, and I think these were just 2 that were left over, and I think they go really well. And it's all top stitched, as you can see, with Gutterman top stitching thread. I'm really proud of this top stitching, actually. The front seam is flat felled. What I would say is it's not a perfect flat fell. This has just been washed. I have worn it and it's just been washed, and bits of it are fraying because I don't think I got it completely sealed. I don't think I got the raw hem completely sealed underneath. So yeah, I don't know how well that's going to last, I'll be honest, but we'll see how we get on. Really like this dress. I made the size 10, and I would say that it does come up big. I was really worried because I'm still trying to get used to my new size, and I was really concerned, especially again because this is a rigid denim with no give in it whatsoever, that it would not go over my hips. And I really didn't need to worry because there's plenty of room in this. And as I say, I do think I could easily go down a size. I think going down a size would be more flattering because there's a lot of room in this, and I think it just needs to be just a little bit more fitted. But I do like it. I really like this dress, and it's a different look for me. I've had this dress pattern in my stash for a long time, but I'll be honest, I've always felt too large to get away with this kind of design, and I'm not suggesting for a minute that anybody else who is, you know, a larger size should not be wearing this dress. Please don't think that for a minute. It's just about me and how I feel comfortable, and I know if I'd have made this dress when I was bigger, I would never have worn it because I wouldn't have had the confidence to wear it. So now I do, which is nice, isn't it? So so yeah, but it's a lovely dress. I really like it. The instructions do tell you to top stitch all the way round the neckline, but I omitted to do that. I quite like it just as it is, and yeah, I will put some pictures in of me wearing that as well. So all in all, I think I did quite well in January. I think I've got quite a lot made, and I'm really pleased with everything that I've got done. I think the only, and I wouldn't even call it fail, but the only thing that didn't really work out the way I'd hoped for was the Vogue dress. And I think this comes back to what I said in my plans video, that for some reason Vogue patterns, as much as I love them, never fit me right, and I don't know why that is, because I'm not an odd shape or anything like that. And nearly every other pattern that I've ever made from any other designer, whether it's a big four or whether it's an indie, generally fit me okay with the few tweaks that I usually need to make. But yeah, I don't know what it is about Vogue, but I don't know whether it's just that dress on this occasion, but it just feels, it's not that it's badly sewn or that it doesn't fit me or anything like that. It's just the style of it. I think it's how it makes me feel, and that's the thing, isn't it? Sometimes I think it's when we make things, it's how you feel wearing them, not just how they look to yourself or to others. And I feel like I'm in a Victorian costume, so maybe it's the fabric choice that doesn't work with it. I don't know, but out of everything, that is the only thing that I'm not really happy with. Everything else I love, and it's been a successful month. So I am going to be back with you soon to talk about my plans for February, and they're really exciting. So I hope you'll tune in for that, and I hope you've enjoyed what you've seen today. If you have, give me a thumbs up. I'll be back with you really soon. Take care. Bye.